Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. I didn't always used to be a marriage healer. I used to actually be a divorce mediator. So when couples would go to counseling and it didn't work out, they were referred to me to help them with their divorce. It was an easier way. I was going to open up divorce centers all over the country. And then one day in 1973, might have been the end of 72, a couple came in and I asked them, why do you want to get a divorce? And they said, we don't. We just don't know what else to do. And they were quite teary-eyed, by the way. So I said, well, wait a minute. You know, I'm an expert in communication. I've done consulting and all of that. And I said, let me work through some ideas and let's meet again in a few months and let's see if we can't save your marriage. So I got into marriage. But I'm not a psychologist, so I got into it very differently. I got into it as a, why do you get married? That's like the first question to ask, right? And this is what I discovered. I discovered that people, every one of us, gets married for one simple reason. We want to be happy. And then the next question that comes up is, well, what makes you happy? That's a tough one. That's not so easy. Because if you think about it, most happiness is transient, isn't it? Comes and goes. You get a brand new car, bam, you're happy. 6 months later, same old, same old. A lot of people get married that way. And then I thought, well, what is it that makes you happy? What makes you happy that keeps going? Where the happiness just keeps improving all the time? And the answer is love. It is. Marital bliss is a real thing. And it's something that not only can you and should you strive for it, but you can achieve it. So in order to really understand that, you've got to start with a basic premise. So I'm going to work backwards a little bit, okay? So we get married for love, right? Everybody knows that. So what would you say love is? Oh, good question. You know, in dictionaries, I looked it up, and in dictionaries it says it's a very high degree of like. No, it really isn't. It's much, much deeper than that. So I'll tell you what it is. It's a spiritual reality. It's a spiritual reality. So what does spiritual mean? Spirit means you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't experience it through the senses. That's what makes it spiritual. So obviously there's spiritual good, spiritual bad. There's a lot of things that you can't feel through the senses. Now, some people might say, well, what about the wind? No, you know it's there because you can feel it blowing against your skin. Love, you can't feel with your 5 senses, but you can feel it with your 6th sense, which happens to be you. So how do you feel love spiritually? And the answer is, you know what's cool about this is it all comes together. Because everyone knows about soulmates. We use the term loosely though. But it wasn't invented by a card company. The term soulmates actually describes 2 souls or more who are connected. Why and how? We won't get into discussions of reincarnation or anything like that, but there's a connection. And we all know about soulmates. And it could be our parents, our brother, our sister, a friend. All of that are soulmates. But the ideal of love, when it's felt by the soul, exclusively, you feel bliss. How do I know? Well, every saint of every religion, because there's not just saints in the Catholic religion, you know. There's Sufi saints, there's Hindu saints, there's Jewish saints, there's Catholic saints, and there's saints who don't belong to any formal religion, because religion isn't what makes them a saint. What makes them a saint is that they're connecting their soul with love without interference. What does that mean? That means because we're human beings, we have this little thing called the mind. And the mind is tied to this other little thing called the body. And the soul is riding around in this mind and body, and it forgets itself. It forgets it's a soul. You forgot you're a soul, and you think, I am. In fact, I can't remember the philosopher's name who said, I think, therefore I am. You probably remember his name, French guy. But he was incorrect. You are, and therefore you can think. Because you are a soul, and you have a mind, and so you can think because you have a mind, but you're the soul. So what these saints do, all of them, is they sit in meditation and they disconnect from their five senses of the body. They calm the mind and saturate the mind with the soul's love, because the soul is love. And they experience bliss. In fact, here's an expression, the blissful devotee of God. So you can have that. It's a process, because controlling the mind doesn't come natural. It's a process. In marriage, when you do it correctly, and it's very cool, there are two souls, and you're working together to communicate your love to one another. And as you express that love unconditionally, in spite of everything and anything else, that love that is flowing through you to each other creates the happiness you seek. And the more you do this, the more you will feel it until you feel the bliss that's found in marriage. It's in a way no different than the pathway of the saint, where they're learning to express their love through themselves. All love comes from God, after all. And as that love flows through them, and this is the trick of marriage, is to give the love rather than want it back. In fact, even the slightest desire to get the love back interferes with the process of giving love. And it's the giving love that creates the bliss. Get it? This is so cool, because when I work with couples, when I first started working with couples, I just created enough information so that they could heal the dynamics of their marriage, see which behaviors were beneficial, which behaviors were detrimental, see how to approach their marriage and each other. But the key to really getting what you're supposed to get out of marriage, which is bliss, another word for bliss is joy, the way to do that is the secret of giving without expectation of getting anything in return. This is the foundation of marriage. So imagine that. The very foundation of marriage is marital bliss. How cool is it? I love marriage. It's such a beautiful setup. The way it's designed, the way it's put together. When you use it rightly, there's nothing like it. When you don't use it rightly, it reminds me of this story. In World War II, these flyers were coming back from a mission, and they didn't have enough fuel to make it back to Midway, where they were going. So they saw a small island, only inhabited by natives who were not very civilized, and they found a clearing and set the plane down. And then they radioed ahead. A boat came and got them. There was this amazing plane, this incredible hunk of machinery that could fly in the sky. And the natives used it for a house. The chief got to live in the plane, and eventually it disintegrated. Marriage is often, usually, misunderstood, not properly utilized. And so people don't get what it's designed for. Like a plane is designed to fly in the sky, marriage is designed to give you the process to achieve bliss. A blissful marriage, marital bliss. And that's it. If you like this, okay, I'm done. If you like this video, share it with other people. I think this stuff is great, and I don't ever hear anyone else talking about marriage this way. And subscribe. I'd love to share more with you. And that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.